Good morning, it's Diana with Little House of Yarn in Princeton, Indiana. It is August 22nd and welcome to my shop live. It's been a couple of weeks, I think, since I've done one. The Pearl, Indiana yarn crawl has come and gone, and so that's what I was busy with, and I chose not to do a live during that week because it was just a lot going on. But I do want to get on here real quick and just let you know what's going on. Shop update. And I'm going to turn this camera around. So it's about time to start doing some cozy knitting and crocheting. And I wanted to show you some of the kits I have made up for you guys. I've got a dream catcher afghan that's crocheted. It's skill level easy, 54-inch diameter H hook, and the colors are similar. Let's see if I can turn this around. Okay. And these are the colors that I've got for this kit. Similar, not the same, but similar to the front of that. It looks like a granny stitch in the round, so it shouldn't be difficult at all. I also have a baby throw that is skill level easy crochet, 34 by 34 inch blanket, I-9 crochet hooks. I'm trying to remember. I believe they have you do a bunch of squares and then you sew them together. I can't remember if it's a strip. I believe it's squares and then you sew them together. So because of the color changing yarn, it just makes each square interesting. So I've got a kit of that made up using these colors because I feel like this will go with any gender. There are other colors here as well for that kit. And then for the Dreamcatcher Afghan, there are other colors of mandala up here as well that you could use for that. Both of these are $25 or less, actually under $25. So it's a good project to get going. If you're a knitter, there is a cute bunny, knitted bunny here by Jody Long using his yarn Snugaboo. And I have knitted with it. I like knitting with it. I tried crocheting with it. Crocheting's a little more difficult. You can crochet with it though, just a little more difficult. But I knitted with it. But there's this cute bunny kit. It just takes 2 skeins of the yarn. It's an intermediate knit. The bunny is knit in pieces and then you have to sew it together like most amiguramis. But I did read through the pattern. It didn't seem that difficult, but that's really cute. So I've got that available for you. I've got some knitted blankets here. This is more of a car seat size, I call it. It is a 21 by 23. It just uses 2 balls of the Jody Long Bubbakins, I believe it's called. And it's a simple, this is it. This is the whole pattern right here. So it's a simple textured knit. I've got a blue and a pink. And then there are other colors as well that you can choose from. And then I do have some multi-cover colors from another yarn that's very similar called Soft Serve. So if you want to do a multicolor, you can as well. And then if you're looking for a bigger baby blanket to knit, I have this one, and it uses 4 skeins of the Bubbakins, and it is a 32 by 35. It's a easy knit as well, pattern repeat. It's got a little eyelets in between, but that kit is available too. The bigger kit is $30, and then the little kits are, I believe, 18, 20, can't remember, 16. If you want to make these bigger, you certainly can, because there's a pattern repeat. If you know how to do that. So you could definitely add on to it and make it a bigger blanket. Let's see, what other kits do I have around the building? Those are my acrylic kits. So that's my acrylic kits. Come over here. I have some Barocco vintage kits. So this one's a mixture of Barocco vintage and a universal yarn deluxe worsted. So it's a washable item. It is a shawl kit. So I've got these two colors, very fall. If you like shawls, it is written and charted. It is considered a intermediate. But if you like shawls, it's got an interesting texture, so it wouldn't be boring. So I've got that kit there. This is a Barocco capelet, and I have made this cape out of the Mystico. But it can be a little pricey with the Mystico, so I mixed it with Vintage DK. So basically, the solid color would be the Vintage DK, and then the stripes would be the Mystico. So you'd have a little fuzzy, but not too much fuzzy. And this would make a wonderful capelet. It would have to be hand washed, though, because of the Mystico, but it shouldn't be that big of a deal. I've washed my cape one time after finishing it, and I haven't blocked it anymore since then, because I just, you know, unless you wear it 24/7. So I've got this color, it's kind of a green and a gold, and that color there. And then I have the classic Toast to Tea by Rebecca Clow, using this recycled tweed yarn. It takes 3 balls of that. Oh, sorry, I'm getting a little floppy. It takes 3 balls of recycled tweed, and then if you want to stripe, you add another ball. But this is a recycled yarn, so it has a different feel. It does texture good. It can be machine washed. I think I've hand washed and machine washed. It almost behaves like cotton, so it's kind of in between a cotton and an acrylic as far as its performance. But I've got lots of colors here to choose from. This is a very popular kit. The pattern is not included, though. You would have to purchase the pattern. And then I do have a little kit down here, a Scrappy Granny, using these fun little balls here from a tasting kit. And then the gray would be your border. And it uses a Scrappy Granny pattern from Nitty Natty. That's my favorite way to teach people how to do grannies. So that would make a cute, oh gosh, I'm not for sure what size. It'd make a good size baby blanket, or even just a throw for an adult. I have a couple of Plymouth yarn kits. So let's pull these out. So this one is the knit. Sorry, it's all boogered up in there. But this is one of the color combos I put together. You can switch out the colors if you like. And the knitted sample is up here. So you can see it's done in 4 panels. You knit 2 panels together, 2 panels together, and then you seam up the middle. And it's a simple pattern. It's a pretty good size too. As you can see from the sample, it says 30 by 30. And to me, that was a pretty good size. So I've got the knitted version. There is a crochet version. And same concept. And so I put some bright colors in here for a kid. Got this idea from a mom who came in and bought a kit. So these are some neon colors and a white. But you could absolutely change out the colors. So that's a nice, and that says it's a 32 by 34 crocheted kit. That's a nice blanket. I put together this one called Simply Stripes by Elizabeth Smith. This will make a 27 by 27. And then it gives you, add 14 more stitches to make it wider. But this is a kit using the Encore Chunky. So these are the colors I put together for that. So that is a knit and it is a garter. So if you've been wanting to do a blanket, but it is garter and it would be on a bigger needle, so it would go fast. I have that kit. I have a building blocks kit, which all you're paying for is the yarn, and it's also done in Encore Chunky, and this is a, it's this color here, which is the maroon. And then you get the free book, and the book has 12 designs, and it's a great way to learn new techniques, and it turns out to be a pretty good sized blanket. And I do have a few kits around the corner here. So if you like neckwear, Samantha Guerin has a pattern called Grid Gambit. So this is the yarn for the pattern, or for the kit, but it does not include the pattern. That is separate, but it's this one here, which I'm going to make that this fall. So I put together, and these are superwash. This is a vintage and a superwash wool, and it's got the purple in it. I know it's kind of hard to see, but I've got the two purples together, and then this has got purples and oranges. Then I've got this other kit, which is a cream and these greens. So I've got these kits here for some fall knitting. And then I've got this cool cowl that I found. It's free. It is color work. It's a tube. It's not hard to follow, but I've got some kits here in different colors. And you can always make your own color, and if you don't like that yarn, I can always make it up in something else. But those are all kits that are available. Let's see. I do have a crochet kit called Hotel of Bees. It uses Barocco Modern Cotton DK. This is a very popular pattern, but I've got these colors put together. And then you can, I've got this kit too that you could also use. So I've got that. Let me see if there's any other kits I got sundering. I think that's it. Oh, I do have a cute basic t-shirt using Queensland United in a classic blue, like a blue jean blue. But the colors can be interchanged. I did have a customer make this up, and it was really cute. Came out really cute. So I have several of those colors to choose from, so you can swap out those colors as well. And I think I made the Jaunty shawl by Andrea Mowry, and then I have lots of yarn suggestions for that pattern if you have that pattern in your Ravelry queue. Okay, so that's my kits that I've put together. I do want to talk about September, mid-September. I have some more Barocco Vintage DK restock on some colors. Bringing in a few new colors. I'm bringing in a little more Lannis Light in a couple of colors. I'm actually bringing in a couple of neutral mohair, because I do have some of you who like mohair. And Barocco starts their Cardi Party mid-September. If you join the Facebook group, I believe it's called the Barocco Cardi Party Facebook group, they'll start putting more details on there. I do believe to qualify for prizes, you have to use their yarn. So I will be restocked on the vintage DK, some Lannis Light. I have some other Barocco available in the shop as well. I think I qualify now for drop shipping. I'm not for sure. They had a minimum per year. I would have to check with my rep, but if I don't have a color you like, you may be able to order. So that's coming up mid-September. The end of September, there is a street festival called Heritage Days. It will be going on for 2 days. They haven't done it for the last few years, so they are bringing it back for 2 days. They're going to see how that goes. I will be open extended hours, and I think the shops around here were all doing some kind of a gold theme, so I may have a special on gold yarn. I don't know. I'm still thinking it out how I want to do that. But that's what's going on. I will be closed the Saturday of Labor Day weekend, so keep that in mind, please. I've got a couple of samples being made up. One of my customers is making a shawl that was just released by Tori Yu, and it's using some alpaca lace and some heritage sock, and it's going to be absolutely beautiful when she gets it done. Be perfect for a bride. So I'm excited to see that once she gets it worked up. I've got a sample going on. Sorry, don't mean to get too close here. Using needle fingers. Let me turn this around. I've got a sample being made of the Dapple Path Mitts using needle fingers Dandy DK, and look at these beautiful fall colors. She's got some blues. She's got some, oh, let me just take you around it so you can see. So she's got 3 colors of the Dandy DK, and I'm making it in the Plum Dandy, but she also has Splish Splash and Fiesta. And this was a new pattern that was just released by Sophie McCain, and it's going real quick. It's a real easy knit. I'm doing it on Magic Loop. You could also do it on DPNs, or if you have a, I don't know, a 9 to 12 inch, I'm going to say a 9-inch circular, you could also do that, but I want to get that done so I can get kits made up for you guys. I've restocked some of my bags. For those of you who have been purchasing my bags, I just so appreciate it. I've got some of these little ones here. $10 of the sale of these goes to a local nonprofit. I've got 2 of these larger bags here available, which this is kind of shows you how much it holds and what it looks like filled up. And then I've got 2 smaller ones I just finished yesterday. I've got to get them out. And then I did make a couple of zip bags. So I'll get this, and I've got this. Okay. I had a customer graciously give me one of their sewing machines. And so I'm able to sew at the shop now, because I usually sew at home on my day off, one of my days off. So it was so nice. I was able to get a couple of bags done this week in between the knitting, because, you know, your body needs a break from all the knitting and crocheting and all that. So I was so excited that she did that for me. I just so appreciate it. And it runs really nice. So I'm going to be able to crank out more bags, hopefully, for you guys. So anyway, that's my shop update. Everybody who attended the Pearl Indiana Yarn Crawl, I so appreciate it. If you live local, I've got lots of acrylics, acrylic blends, wools, cottons to choose from. A little bit of something for everybody is what every customer that lives out of town tells me. So if you live local, you need to stop by and check me out, guys. Downtown Princeton, Indiana, next to Port Side Coffee. I'm just right there. So anyway, I hope you all have a great weekend, and hopefully I'll be talking at you next week.